I was asked to make videos detailing how why do my controls feel so, like, delayed? Whatever. Anyways, I was asked to make a video explaining my personal training regimen for how I try to fix kinks in my game plan and whatever. So I made a list of training drills that I have or will be doing now that I've completed most of my research. Actually, I had one more thing to test I'm going to do right now with Akuma, and that is... So if I'm going to record a neutral jump, and then I'm going to record a neutral jump heavy punch or something, and I'm going to play both of those. There. Okay, I'm trying to get... Alright, I need to see if it will clip, like, a farther limb that doesn't have an extended, like, personal... that doesn't move him forwards, per se. Yeah, well, this hit. Okay, it hits from there. This was an old Street Fighter V trick. Nope, not quite close enough. There we go. Well, this hit. It does! Okay, so he actually teleports forward very far. Alright, that's what I wanted to test. Okay, so that is also a technique that I'll need to practice, because the cancel window for fireballs in the level 3s in this game is not very big. There, will that hit? No, it doesn't. Okay, so a little bit closer, and with the light fireball is good too. If it light or maybe medium fireball if it catches a limb. Let's try medium. Will this reach? It will. Okay. So if you're playing about this range, you can throw a medium fireball and buffer it into a level 3, and if they stick out a limb into it, your level 3 will automatically cancel from the fireball and connect. Alright, yeah, that was an old Street Fighter V technique, mostly into V-trigger activations, but people didn't usually buffer them into supers. You would buffer it so that if the fireball, because the cancel only works on, like, the first active frame of the fireball, so what you would do in Street Fighter V, if you had, like, Ken or something, is you would throw a fireball, and then you would just hit the V-trigger activation, and if they put out a poke into your fireball, it would automatically trigger activate and then combo off of it. And that's just basically the same method that I'm using here. Medium fireball, buffer into level 3, and then it automatically converts. Akuma's not the only character that should be able to do this, obviously. Who else would do that? A lot of the characters that have fireballs that would throw out tend to have level 3s that don't reach that far, I've noticed. Like, Aki can throw fireball, but she could already just confirm into the whip follow-up. Ken's level 3, Ryu's level 3 is incredibly shallow, so is Akuma's. Ken's probably reaches a bit farther. I know this has nothing to do with Akuma, which was the entire point of this video, but my testing brain has activated. Oh wait, no, it's punches. Will this reach? Hell no. Okay. So, I think that's why they gave all the Shotos these shallow-ass fireballs, and you can't do it with Luke, because... Well, actually... Maybe you can. Hang on. It's not canceling into level 3. I know if he needs to be, like, way, way closer for that to work. Here, let me try, like, being real up close. Okay, so if he's real close, like, he can buffer this into level 3. But it has to hit, like, it has to hit their limb very, very close for him to be able to cancel it at all. Yeah, even there, I don't think it did. Or maybe I just messed it up, because it's a tight input, but... Yeah, I think I just messed it up. Anyways, a little bit awkward. Who else has a good fireball for it, maybe? Chun's level 3 goes pretty far. Juri doesn't need to do this, because she can already... Actually, now that I think about it... Yeah, she can already do this because she can already buffer into her follow-up attacks anyway, so if I have the opponent, just like she could in Street Fighter V. It only hits certain limbs, so it won't work with his standing medium kick in that way, but it would work in some capacity like that. JP's Ghost is kind of weird in how it works, and it doesn't necessarily allow for the exact same thing, but he could probably do some variation of it. DJ's level 3 is a bit shallow, but should work. Guile's level 3 would require, like, messing with his charge inputs, so it would not be as ideal for him. Dhalsim's level 3 is incredibly shallow. Yeah, I guess that must be why. All these characters have incredibly shallow... Rashid would be able to do it, I'm sure. I think, like, I'm certain that... What's his input for level 3? Punches? Okay. Yeah. He can just buffer this from a mile away, and then if he hits a limb... It's a slow startup fireball, but if he hits a limb... Close range... It'll work. It doesn't seem to have as much range as, like... But yeah, that'll auto buffer into level 3. Okay, so that's pretty... That might be good for him as well. And then, who else? Ed's, it would not work, because his is an actual laser. And Akuma can do it. So, I guess that's how it works out. I doubt Ryu's would work. Ken's doesn't seem to work. Akuma seems to work better just because the cancel is so fast. Chun could probably do it. But again, losing charge. So let's try this. Do the fucking kick, asshole. Randomizer. The cancel window on that one is also very tight. So that would be also difficult. So, okay, realistically, probably the people who can make good use of this would be Rashid, maybe Ryu, or I don't know how well his cancels. Maybe Aki, Luke maybe, in the tight close range, and then Akuma, and I don't think Dhalsim. Maybe Guile if he's willing to give up charge, maybe DJ. Let me try DJ's. What's his... It's punches? No, it's back punches. Yeah, this is another one where the first hitbox is very, very shallow. So Akuma's works better for that. Yeah, it seems like Akuma, Rashid, maybe Luke are the ones that get the best use out of this technique. Aki probably, but she already has the whip follow-up for that. Let me just try and see if that works at range. And then that will be the last thing to test, and then we'll be done, and I can stop doing this. I don't think it works because it takes me buffering the super as the whip cancel. So I don't think that would work in that way. So, okay, alright. That's handy information. I think Akuma would probably be the character that gets the most value out of that, unless Rashid is especially... Because Rashid's level 3 can combo off those fireballs from like a mile away. In fact, I'm curious. How far can he clip a limb from Dhalsim with his fucking fireball? It's still comboed! Dude, hell yeah. Alright, fuck yeah. Okay, whatever. Okay, anyways, that completely aside. So the first drill, basic, anti-air plus DI, counter. You can do anti-air plus any combination of things. So to set it up, add in a couple little basic movements, and then add jump, maybe a different jump in, and then DI. And then we're going to adjust the rate of these so that this one is a rate of 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then both the jumps are 1, and then the DI is less frequent. So then we just activate all those, put them on autoplay and loop. And then we would react to the jumps. I haven't done this in a couple days because I've been doing so much goddamn research. Oops. Every time I think about the DI for a second, my hand autopilot. My brain is very stupid in that way. If I think too much, I always fuck up. Oops. Messed up. Messed up. This health on refill. I'm almost certain I reacted in time. That one I was just annoyed, so I wasn't paying attention. Fuck me. And then we just do this for a long time, and then we switch to right side. Which my inputs, my DP inputs especially, are much, much clumsier on my right side. As you can see. Messed up my crosscut. It should not be difficult, so that speaks to my out of practice and general lack of any talent at all. Fuck off. Bullshit. etc. Anyways, whatever. Alright, so that's that practice. That's the general idea. You guys can't tell, you don't know this, but I have, like, an endocrinologist, they don't entirely know why, but I have, like a hormone imbalance that affects some of my body temperature regulation. So every time I get up to, like, go get a drink and come back, there's this, like, giant dark puddle of sweat wherever I was sitting while I'm working on this stuff. Little fun fact. Anyways, next is anti-air plus drive rush, which depends on the... So, in this circumstance, I'm going to, in fact, do, DJ, for which DJ will do this, that, that, and then, that. Unfortunately, it's kind of awkward to make, like, charge characters work when you're doing random select, other than to just, like, increase the rate at which they do these things by a lot. Anyways, so that is, like, the main assortment. And the idea is to combine a multitude of options. So we want to perfect parry that. We want to at least regular parry the fireballs, and we want to anti-air the jumps, which requires some brain multitasking. And this is a good way, even if you don't have a very high success rate at stopping this, this is a good setup to practice resetting your brain for each situation. Because as soon as you lose the neutral by blocking a drive rush jab, you have to reset your mental priorities for what to look for and focus more primarily on the jump. And less on, like, the random stuff that you were looking at before. And, like, think less about parry and more about uppercut. So this requires a lot of doing before your brain kind of gets used to the multi-selection of options that you're looking for. I was sure I uppercutted that. Oh, right, I forgot his jab recovers in like 2 microseconds. So this is a thing that I have to practice a lot because my brain is especially bad at this. I cannot look for multiple things that require different reactions very well. If I even tiny, like, glance of a thought in one direction, my brain will cross wires, and as soon as one thing happens, I'll react to it with the opposite action. It's been that way for years, or my entire life, so not a ton of functional stuff I can do other than just practice the shit out of this so that I get slightly marginally better. I was sure I uppercutted that. That was a parry. Fucking... I don't know how other people macro their buttons. I don't know if other people have just like a parry button. I hit both mediums for my parry just because my button layout doesn't allow for another macro. And I'd rather have my macro on DI instead, but maybe that's a mistake. Fucking, how is that not an uppercut? Counter hit? What are you talking about? Fuck me. Fuck me. So this is significantly more difficult. Fuck me. I was thinking for Whiff Punish for a second, and then my brain just automatically reacts to that. I'm so fucking bad at this kind of thing. Hence the need for endless amounts of practice. And this is not even with him doing random DIs either. Come on, I had that. Fuck you. Ah, fuck. God, that 4-framer wasn't in time to punish. Etc. So keep doing that. If you want to add or remove any options, you can. And then we'll do it on both sides. This will be a disaster. Etc. Anyways, yeah, so you keep doing that. So that's a more complex level of practice. Now, you can do a variation of this for, like, any combination of things. So, for instance, let's take Manon. And let's have Manon do this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that, and that. And then we'll increase the rates of the basic movements, double the jump, triple the movements, whatever, etc., and then go. So first we have to have an idea of what we want to be looking for. How? How is that not in time? What are you fucking talking about? What the fuck? How is that not in time? That was much faster than I've reacted to it and still gotten it. I haven't reacted to the overhead a single fucking time fast enough. Because the startup of it looks not that dissimilar to a jump. And it has an audio cue, but the audio cue does not play instantly. There's a slight delay on the audio cue. I blocked it that time. Sometimes you have to substitute DI for parry if you need parry to deal with a couple of the options that... Now, in Manon's case, her overhead should be DI-able. It's just very difficult to react to. And it's kind of rough for DP characters specifically because it looks similar to jump startup, which means that for you to block it and then be able to punish it, or like block it and then be able to take your turn on the -9, it means you have to hold back as soon as you see that little animation. But if you hold back right at the instant that a forward jump happens, which looks very similar, it's much more complicated for you to do your DP input, whereas a character with a regular overhead like DJ will just hold back and then hit back heavy kick to anti-air. So it's easier, in my opinion, or in my nonsense theorizing, for characters with strike normals to deal with this. So in that sense, I'm going to try dealing with this with strike anti-airs. Man, his crouching heavy punch fucking sucks ass as an anti-air. I'm gonna let the DIs go for now because I'm just trying to react to the jump in. I'm trying to option select the animation. Yeah. Like that. The other problem is that these fat-ass fucking D-pads on this piece of shit controller that I'm using make it not, like, you can't distinguish between down, back, and down at the same speed that you would just press a button to react to something. So if you could react with a single button press in, like, let's say 15 frames... having the controller actually fucking register that you went from down back to straight back is like an extra like 5 frames delay sometimes, which is terrible. Anyway, so you can do this kind of practice with other characters. Let me just demonstrate and do Lily stuff, and this is something that I will... Character specific, one wind, so I'll have her do... This, that, and then I could do DI, but I'll just leave it at that for now, and then I'll have these ones be 2, 2, 2, and then 2, and then 1 and 1 for the other ones. I forget the Akuma's punish on this. Oops. Etc. So you can practice doing that as well for Light or EX Windspire. You can look across the cast and look for any like special moves or special actions, and then put them all in a rotation, then practice, and then do it on both sides, etc. So, now I'm going to explain why I can't react to Manon's overhead, but I can react to this fucking Windspire. And that's because of a methodology in my training that I take for specific moves that annoy me, or that I want to especially practice. So here's what I do. This is the recording software that I use. I use Wondershare from Filmora. I am not a tech... I am not like a computery guy. I don't know fucking jack shit, so I've just been using this for years. I don't know if there's a better or whatever way, but I'm going to explain what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do, and I can't demonstrate this right now, but I'm going to record an animation. Okay? So I'm going to come in here. I'm currently recording. Don't repeat playback, so there. And I'm going to activate it. And that's it. Now I'm going to stop the recording. It's going to get kind of meta, because I'm going to play the recording that I just recorded. So I'm going to come in here. Oh shit, it's so meta. Anyways, now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to shave off everything except for, this point. Here. Abouts. And then as the move is going, it's irrelevant. So I'm going to shave it off at that point. We're going to microscope it, so this is like about a second. Okay, so here, 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 here. So this is her idle animation. Idle animation. We can see each frame of motion, and we can look at each individual. Now, this is not frame by frame. My recording software records at, I think, 24 frames, or 25 frames per second. So this is not play by play the same that it will look in the game, but the point is that I come over here, animation startup. So the first frame of the animation looks something like this. So I'm going to move this here. I'm going to expand this, put it in the middle, and what I'm going to do, I've already done this, but I'm just going to do it again to demonstrate how I would normally do this. I'm going to take a quick little photo of that, and then we're going to save it in my Anti-Lily training folder that I have here. So as you can see, whatever. Now, I've already had that, so I'm not going to keep it, because I already have one. Anyway, so then, I'm going to go next frame, next frame. So these two they look exactly the same, and then the next one is here. Next one is here. Oh, right, because I cut it out. So then the next one is here. Now I'm going to take this one and same thing, same story. Grab my snipping tool and I'm going to grab it. Okay? And save it. Oops. But once again, I already have one here of this frame, and that's right there. Now, what I do is I go frame by frame and look at the motion. So this is when the move starts. This is just idle animation. That looks like motion. So this looks like the first frame. So I can cut it out from here on back. So this is idle. This is first frame, maybe. Or maybe this is, whatever. But it looks like this is where motion is starting. And then this is the animation as it goes to a logical point. So, some animations are easier to react to the startup than others. You know, a 20-frame startup move is not the same as another 20-frame startup move in terms of reactability. Some of them, the animations do not look distinct enough that you can identify them. Some moves have audio cues that play very early, some don't, etc. So in order to optimally react to things, we have to get creative with how we look for them. So, first we listen to the audio cues. In some instances, it may be beneficial to switch certain voices to English or Japanese to provide, but that's like really getting niche into it. And personally, I've never played with audio cues very much until... Yeah, I don't play with audio cues very much, or I'm not used to using audio cues, but that is, like, if you want to get creative with it, look for every opportunity to get the fastest reaction possible. You want to look for the earliest noticeable piece of stimuli. So this start of this animation is bullshit, okay? Because this does not look really, up to this point, which is like 5 frames or so into the animation, it really doesn't look like anything. It looks like idle animation, maybe crouch input, whatever. It looks like nothing. This is where a tiny bit of motion starts, where so there's a couple things that you can identify using using a visual image. So you can use audio cues, but in terms of visuals, there's a couple things. One, a quick stutter. So it's like if an opponent is like moving back and forth and then suddenly they're very stationary in a way that they're not usually, it might be because they're in the startup of a move that its starting animation looks suspiciously similar to just regular whatever. So there's a couple things. We can look for the overall silhouette. Of a particular frame of animation. So one thing that we do is look for the silhouette. Now, Lily's silhouette, some of her costumes, her hair is like this, so her silhouette is slightly different. That may matter in some circumstances. Other things, your eyes can also catch kinetic visual. I'm blanking on the correct term, but it's not just silhouettes that you can identify. You can identify specific pieces of information. So let's say you're looking at specifically her back arm. You can analyze like one spot. For me, this is where I look when I'm fighting Lily. I look here in this area because that's where certain animations occur only in that space that will give me the fastest reactions possible to some of her moves. So this is the space that I look at to perfect parry the fast Condor, the light and the EX Condor Spires in neutral. And the reason why, so this is like starting to get a distinct motion. The kinetic energy kind of communicates this twisting motion as her arms start to rotate in this direction and this one starts to move backwards, etc. for a brief moment. But this frame of animation, if you actually play it in the game, there's like a tiny bit of motion in the counterclockwise direction, but then she starts rotating in the clockwise direction. There's like a tiny bit of motion, like stutter step, like counterclockwise for just a brief frame until her little like paddle spike gets exactly here. Right here in this space. It takes up a silhouette right here, and that's what I look for when I react to this. I look for that little frame where the paddle just appears right there for a flash. And because that's the only animation where it appears like that, and that's how I can instantly identify that it's the Condor Spire. And so you can look at either that particular space or you can look at the overall silhouette. I don't think the silhouette is very helpful for this animation because her silhouette does not look that different until she gets all the way up when she's like curling and airborne, at which point it's too late. That's way late into the move. That's like 10 frames into the move, so it's very hard to react to that point. So you can look at the little stutter of like a tiny bit of counterclockwise motion and then clockwise motion. And that little stutter before when it switches from counterclockwise to clockwise motion of the animation. If you're using kinetic vision, you can maybe identify that. Personally, like I said, I identify this frame, and which is why when we come down to here, I specifically tag this animation. So I specifically tag this frame because that is, in my opinion, the place where the silhouette and a particular area of the animation is most discernible. And so that's the frame that I consider the reactable part of the animation. And you want to go frame by frame to find the earliest possible part of each animation in order to react to it most effectively. So, for instance, let's try it with Manon's overheads and see if I can stop being a fuck up about it. So then I come in here. I look at jump, regular jump. So when does jump start up? Okay. So that's idle animation, and then I'll cut it off there, and then that will be my basis for jump startup. So this is idle animation. This is jump startup. So we're gonna zoom in. Oh, looks like a stupid bird. Anyways, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna save it as Manon jump 1. Okay. Then we're gonna keep going through the frames. Okay, that's and then microanalyze this. Manon jump 2. Next frame. And that'll be the last one that I record. Because after that, it's obvious that she's airborne. Manon jump 3. So this is not frame by frame. Like I said, my recording software only goes at 25 frames per second. But in any case, so that's our jump, and then we'll do her overhead. So this is inputting. That's like the first frame that it's visible. I think the 60 frames per second might be hurting this particular one. Yeah, it's not recording in a high enough capacity. This is like a 20 frame startup move, and it's yeah, it's only half by half. So, but in any case, whatever. We'll work with what we've got. If I need sharper, like 60 frame per second recordings, so that I can go frame by frame, in fact, I can do that literally in game if I wanted to. So in fact, let us do that. Hang on one second. Really quick, I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. Look at my ridiculous stats. Fighting ground, so like room matches, almost the same as ranked, so like 61 hours. World Tour, 82 hours. Practice, 700 hours. Okay, and here we go. Wait, how do I stop the rewind from going that fast? Okay. So that's just a regular crouch animation. Oh, fuck. I accidentally. Kind of looks similar to a crouch animation. Like, I actually can't tell. Okay, this doesn't make any sense to me. I advance 1 frame from here, and it's like there, then there, then there. But if I advance back 1 frame, it doesn't return to the animation that just was. So I'm being led to believe that this system is lying to me about what the actual animations are. But in any case, if I look at it like this, I find this... Okay, maybe this is actually very unreliable, because the animations are not the same. Like, I go back and forth, and I keep getting, like, different animations every time. Like, I'm just going back and forth, and she's, like, getting taller. See? And she went very down there, but if I go backwards, it's not. So it just seems like the animation is random when you advance or go back 1 frame. But anyway, so ducks down, sort of towards, hands kind of palm facing inwards, surface of the hand out, other hand kind of in like the flicker jab looking animation, feet directly facing. There's a slight pivot in her feet, but maybe that's the trick. Yeah, her feet like really close in together. Her legs kind of both face in a fencing position. Well, not fencing. 1 foot would be more forwards, but anyway. So, and then they start twisting, and then so like Gyat for the Rizzler out, and then starts. So I was identifying this by like this point for like the when it goes into the air, but I need to be looking for. Okay, so this part with the slight crouch down, bending at the knees and the waist, but upper body kind of stiff. A twist, the one arm kind of pulls back in a Claudio sense. Her other arm swings out along with her giant ass. Next point begins like a backwards, like hip movement. The kinetic motion kind of starts. Legs still very close together, but pointing the opposite direction. The angle of the knee is bent completely the opposite direction. And then she's at this point, one foot in a complete bend. So it goes from this one continues to bend, the other one gets straight, and it's like in this sort of rigid, legs straight down position, and it kind of stays that way that whole time. Versus a regular forward jump. Do we have any forward jumps? Okay, that was a forward jump. Wait, where was the forward jump? Shit. God damn it. This is like convenient, but not super convenient, this system. Okay, anyways. So neutral jump in terms of the... Let's see. Okay, yeah, so this... Wait, sometimes the green, if I go back here, the green lingers on her animation and does... Okay, this system is kind of shitty, because it keeps lying about the animations. But anyways, this is clearly jump startup. This ungraceful fucking duck squat thing. Then, hands together. I don't know if that's for neutral jump or forward jump, but it kind of like shoots up straight. There's no backwards bend in her legs. Her knees either are facing the screen or facing forwards. Hands, both hands are kind of splayed outwards, palms and fingers spread out open. Comes out here, then arms come together instead of one going back and the other one going forwards. And then after that, it's kind of like this. But anyways, let's look for another forward jump. Okay, there we go. Come on. Okay. So it begins with hands widening outwards, an airplane. Duck, she's kind of looking in the opposite direction this time. I'm not entirely sure why that is. She's looking away from the camera, and her hands are not in the same positions they were before. Oh, yeah, so the forward jump animation is definitely different from the neutral jump, because in this one, she spins away, clockwise away from the camera. In this one, both of her knees are bending towards the opponent. Neither one is bending towards the screen, the camera position. Her arms are spread out, but you can see the backs of her palms particularly, and her head is not facing towards the camera, and her silhouette's like that. Then, yeah, her palms splay very distinctly, the knees are still bent, etc., and the rotation continues. At this point, it's mainly determined by the just turning around backwards. I don't know if her standing heavy kick looks similar, I don't think it does, but anyways, so... And then at this point, yeah, so... Legs are kind of rigid, but it's not like a knee is bent backwards in the opposite direction or something. And then, yeah, anyway, so we're going to use that as our basis. So anyways, let's keep looking at this overhead animation. No, this one completely skips, like, that whole portion. Like, the knees are facing the screen, legs rigid, but it skips, like, all of those fucking frames in between of her knees bending in the opposite direction. So, yeah, this is not cutting it necessarily for seeing all the animations, this recording software I'm using. So, I'm left with two... I either get better recording software that records at 60 frames per second reliably, or I rely on the like random matches on the replay function and the seemingly inconsistent animations that it displays when you look at the frames. But anyways, let's go back into the game, and then we're going to look at this fucking animation and look for the parts. So, I'm going to look for the knees and legs facing this way. I'm going to look for the knees bending and facing that way. And the animation happens so fast, I actually don't see that at all, really. I'm looking for it, I don't see that. I don't even see her knees bending in the opposite direction. It happens so briefly. The kinetic, in terms of looking at the kinetic, no wait, no, I don't want it to, like, loop. In terms of the kinetic motion, the twist in the animation happens so fast, I can barely even discern the fact that she's rotating through it. Like, rotating counterclockwise, towards the camera, because I can't fucking see any distinguishing detail through the blurriness of the animation. So we're gonna come back to here. Maybe this is actually more reliable after all, because it doesn't give me false hope. Like, if something shows up in 25 frames per second, you can be sure that you can identify it. So it looks like that with the knee bent backwards. I'm going to keep doing this. This one is jump, so... Yeah, I know that she rotates and whatever, like she ducks down for a second and then she rotates. I don't see that at all. It's just like instantaneous. It looks like she's just airborne as soon as this happens. So we're gonna look at the jump startup animation again. So her legs are very crouched, like her legs are pulled up towards her body when she does this. That's like the first thing I notice. There's a bit of blurry, imperceivable animations happening here. But the first thing I notice is that she's up here and her legs are fully like squatted in the air, pulled very high up. And there's a tiny bit of like clockwise kinetic motion that I can read from this in passing. Whereas this one, clockwise motion and bit of clockwise motion. Other than that, it's just very hard to see any detail here. Okay, the only thing that I can discern here is that her leg stays like rigid throughout the whole thing. It's just like pointed straight down and just moves forwards. That leg stays rigid. It's just a very blurry animation, honestly. There's a bit that I can see with like her leg kind of sweeping very briefly above her head. Okay, so I'm gonna try to react to this plus this. No, but that's not fair because it's like doing the... What if I do that? Okay, I'm doing the same animation, so... Yeah, okay, I'm looking at the rigid leg staying right here and moving towards me. Oh, that's right. I forgot if it hits in the exact last frame, she can counter DI. That's even more obnoxious. It's just, the startup of the animation is so fucking shitty that I can't see it at all. Like, the start of the animation is just so nonsensical. because it's like going through the animation at like Mach speed, so you can't actually see. There's no real animation. It's just a blurry mess. Okay, let's look at other parts of the animation. Back in here, let's shrink this. Maybe it's just a shittily animated move that there's not good options for. I never see that frame of animation. Whatever. Let's... Her head is incomprehensible. Her arms are incomprehensible. The kinetic movement of just suddenly dashing forwards is maybe a little reactable, but... Okay, so I'm going to try reacting to it based on her feet. There we go. Fuck yeah! Alright, I'm gonna try that in regular. I'm not gonna bother, like, uppercutting, but... You know what? In fact, I'll turn off the jump for now. Oops, I hit... Oops. Alright, it's more convenient to, just for my own convenience, I'm going to, not shortcut settings, control settings, I'm going to very briefly remap this to parry, so that I can try it with a one-button parry. Wait, that's not doing parry at all. Oh, right. I'm stupid. This. There. Jesus. Fuck you. Alright, so here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. I'm looking specifically at... this. This is the only animation in this current assortment of things, in terms of at least walking and basic movement, where her foot rotates towards the screen, and it actually is visible if you look at the animation. It's visible for a brief. It actually stays in a visible. It's not blurry. You can see the foot instantly just is completely parallel to the lines of the grid, etc. So we can put this on. I'll try to do uppercut as well. It's just bullshit. I think this one is just complete fucking horseshit. Anyways, whatever. Alright, this is our final attempt at this. I'm going to use a character that doesn't have to do a DP uppercut. Oops. I really have to option select it, so I have to get used to it. Yeah. That'll option select it. As long as I just react to the motion with back heavy kick. And then pump to level 1 no matter what happens. Okay, this next practice is basic, but whatever. So in this, I'm going to do neutral jump, drive rush, jab, throw. Neutral jump, drive rush, jab, medium punch. Neutral jump, drive rush, medium punch. And then neutral jump, drive rush, throw. And then we're going to delay tag. Yeah, so if we do it too early, or if we mess up on the jab, fuck me. DJ has the fastest recovering jab in the game, so this is the hardest variation of this. Because you have to specifically react to the jab and then do the double tech, because you don't want to be already mashing tech before that point. Etc. So that's one thing, and you practice that both sides. Sides don't matter as much in that as for uppercutting, but just practice everything both sides. You can mix it up, you can listen to podcasts, whatever. Next is throw in mid-screen while punishing neutral jumps, forward jumps, and in, if applicable, back jumps. I don't actually need that one. So anyways, record both of those, then come to block reversal, do nothing. Recording 1, recording 2. Normal throw, delay of 6 frames. Block all is on. And then one of them is on back jump. And then, I don't know if Akuma can punish back jump here. Hang on, let me check if he can or not. I should know this, because I've spent the last weekend, like... Okay, yeah. Alright. So, do all the options. Oops, that was supposed to be level 1. That was just me messing up. Cross cut. Mistake. No successful crosscut. The back jump will always be the hardest one to catch, so you can decide whether or not you want to practice, put it into the rotation. Heavy uppercut on that. Oops. Oops. Etc. And then you practice this also on both sides, so... Fuck me. Mistake. As you can see, I'm very bad at these kind of inputs on my right side. Too late, yep. Fuck me. Fuck off. There we go. Finally, got a fucking crosscut. That's too late. Think too late? No, it's fine. Okay, next is like the same thing, but just in the corner. So we can remove back jump in the corner, and then... In fact, we can remove these options, because I don't care. Wait, which one was neutral jump? Oh wait, no, these are both the jump ones. I don't need do nothing back that, right. I don't know in this scenario if Akuma can anti-air with something better than this. His back heavy kick is totally unreliable here. What about the forward jump one? Wait, why do I have back jump on? No, no, okay, this one, so... Can you get back heavy kick to stop their cross-up jump? You can probably get this. Okay, so let's do this and then this. Might require a micro bit of movement. Hang on, I need to get my brain readjusted to the rotation of options. It requires a very precise micro movement to not get hit by the cross-up. Akuma's a lot wider than I think a lot of... He looks wider, and he feels wider when you get hit by cross-ups from, like, point-blank range. No, that doesn't go underneath them. Fuck. Okay, so the... Alright, there's not even much point in doing it. If you can't get a side switch from it, then... It's only like whatever. You could get a side switch with that, but I guess, but... Yeah, I don't even know if it's worth it. It seems kind of tight. So anyways, whatever. Just do it as a... Just do the DPs. I always try to find, like, convenient option selects, so I'm kind of messing with the inputs right now. Because if you're too close, it's kind of awkward to crosscut. You have to input it very quickly. Otherwise, you'd have to input a backwards DP. It's not too hard if you just react faster, but if they're very close to you when they jump over, you're more liable to get things that are not DP by trying to go for a crosscut. Anyways, whatever. And then we would do this on left side. Alright. Etc. The next thing is to practice, and this is something that not enough people realize, but is a very important technique. So let's remove, which one was forward jump? Okay, so we'll just do forward jump and empty forward jump and do nothing. And then what we're going to do... Actually, no. Let's just do forward jump and empty forward jump off of the throw situation. So we want to be able to do this off of throws and shimmies. So let's say if we added do nothing into this, then we would do a little shimmy, and then we would want to get a micro movement into the perfect position. there. So do this off of both shimmy, I'll talk about that in a second, and then also off of this throw scenario. So if they forward jump, you don't have to move at all. You just do drive rush into the light, sit there, wait for them to jump. Some characters' jump arcs are different, but wait for them to jump, and then just back throw them on landing. And the reason why this is strong is because they can't jump out of it. If they keep, like, normally if you're in a strike throw shimmy situation, you have the option to backdash or jump out. But when you're landing from a jump like this, you specifically cannot avoid getting thrown by jumping again, okay? Like, when you're landing, you can get thrown, and just holding up won't get you out of it. Which is why this is not just a strike throw shimmy situation, this is just a strike throw situation. Or, sorry, this is just a throw shimmy situation. You don't even have to represent strike. So there's two things that could happen. Well, there's three things that could happen. One is the opponent does a jumping attack on their way down, and they get punish countered, and you guarantee side switch, put them back in the corner, right? There's literally nothing they can do. If they did a jump attack on their way down, they just get side switched back into the corner. Now, if they didn't hit a button, they have two options: tech or no tech. If they no tech, they get back thrown back into the corner. If they tech, you can institute a shimmy, either from a neutral jump or whatever else. So let's say that he lands and then techs. So let's, instead of this, we're going to record him doing this and then delay tech or something, right? Like that. Just like that, and then we're going to replace forward jump with that. And then have that be the only one currently. So that, if we just sit here, crouch block, and then prepare to throw him, meaty throw as he lands, he techs, which means that because he cannot avoid the throw with the jump or backdash here, we can either just throw him back in the corner or just shimmy him with like a neutral jump or whatever. So if we want to shimmy him, we take a slight micro step into that, into, if we're Akuma, we would probably do back roundhouse into demon flip. Or something that would side switch on strike. So then we're going to practice this scenario. By the way, like, if you watch Punk play, this is, like, his default way of stopping people from getting out of the corner. Like, if he's playing Cammy, sometimes if he has healthy drive gauge, he'll crosscut EXDP to put them back in the corner, as Cammy's does. But if he doesn't have healthy drive gauge, this is his main way of stopping the opponent from getting out of the corner, is he just sits at the exact right position where he can't get hit by their cross-up button, and he can meaty throw them on landing. If it's a punish counter, he gets a guaranteed throw, puts them back in the corner, and if not, he'll just either throw or shimmy them to put them back in the corner. So this is an important thing to practice as well. Next is practicing corner defense. So we generate a scenario like, no, a little bit closer than that. Whatever, it's fine, it doesn't really matter. And then we have the opponent sit here, pop up, stand jab, sometimes right, I need to switch my input back from. Alright, so then we have all these active. And then we just run through this. Some characters have an easier time anti-airing when they're in the corner. Some characters, yeah, they're DP, even DP characters like Jamie and I guess Akuma. I wouldn't have expected Akuma to have this problem, but... Fuck you. Here, hang on, I need to increase the rate of this, this, and this. Yeah, okay, I need to do a quick walk under crosscut. By the way, it's very important that you have both a regular jump, like this, and a jump that goes cross-up, because some characters, their anti-airs, like I've been demonstrating, do not work as they normally would when you're in the corner. And then you just do a bunch of that. Wait, let's do it both sides. So, oh wait, no, I have to create a new scenario here. Oops. And then you should also do from a bit further range out. You should do the same thing, but... So, same rotation of options, but... real, like, straight anti-airs instead of cross-cut anti-airs. Fuck me. How is... okay. The more you practice this kind of thing, the more you realize, like, all the things that I complained about with this game, like, a couple months after it was out, where, like, you're fighting the game way more than you're fighting the opponent. You're just fighting built-in reaction checks and mental stack checks that have nothing to do with the opponent's decision-making or methodology or talent or anything. Fuck me! And the other thing is that the more I focus, the more my body temperature increases. So I'm like, the more I focus and the more I get irritated. So I'm like actually just drenched in sweat just by doing this for like a couple minutes. And then you do the same thing, but on the opposite side. This is the thing that I'm not going to be even slightly prolific at because I can't do a full crouch uppercut on the right side. Oh wait, no, he's not far enough out because that still hit cross up. Hang on. Well, did it not save my position that I just set and just saved? Fucking piece of shit. So, I may need to rely on Akuma's very much worse crouching heavy punch anti-air just to free up space in my mental stack if it comes to this. Oops. But the problem is if I think about DI, normally I'm fine because I can think about anti-air and then react to the DI, but if I think about DI as my primary thing, I'm much more liable to accidentally hit DI in reaction to something else because my brain is so fucking stupid. Alright, the next thing to practice, let's switch characters just for the heck of it. Camis. So we're gonna sit here. No, we're gonna sit here. And Cammy's gonna do low forward, drive rush jab. Low forward, drive rush, crouch fierce or something. No, oh, minimum gap. Low forward, whatever, and then low forward just by itself. I'll loop this scenario. Oh wait, no, it doesn't need to. Well, I'd like it to auto do, but not repeat. No, what? That'll be obnoxious. Oh wait. Alright, so that's not too complicated, and then we just do it in both sides. Etc. Oh, I should mention there's a better do this with Ed, actually. Do this against Ed, and so that you're forced to do the crouch-specific version of this. Because if you just go nuts with your whatever else. So, okay, I'll have... Just because it's obnoxious to... in the way that I have to input this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And that. And then we're going to do all of those. Yeah, so if you do that with Ed specifically, it'll force you to do the crouch specific version of the DP input, because if you do the standing input version of the Shoryuken, you'll get hit by the low. So Ed is the go-to character to practice with this. You could also do Chun, but whatever. Alright, the next thing is to drive reversal the DRCs. Now this mainly matters for... Like, a lot of DRCs that they're going to do is, like, Ken's going to walk... Like, most characters are going to do low forward, drive rush into a light. Like, just a 4-frame light or whatever. And those are impossible to drive rush... to drive reversal on reaction. It just, like, can't be done. Because their light will actually speed up the recovery... Discord, shut the fuck up. Their light will speed up the recovery, and, it's just not doable. You'll just get punished for it. But, you should practice other scenarios where you know that the opponent's going to do something heavier. For instance, like if Zangief does, drive rush, stand light kick, drive rush, or whatever, you know that he's going to go for something heavier. So, He'll probably try to rob you most of the time. But let's just say that, like, keep it simple and just do Lily, Crouch, Fierce, Drive Rush, and then she'll go for a strike mix or a heavy mix or whatever. So, sit here, and then record. Right, I'm in Modern. Record, Crouch, Fierce, and then record, Crouch, Fierce, Drive Rush. And then just... Did it not record? Hang on, wait a minute. Okay. It didn't record. Thank you for recording. This is not difficult at all for these particular ones where you know the opponent's going to commit to something heavier than a light. But, yeah. Just keep this in mind. Make sure that your brain is actually doing it in response to the green. God damn it, I forgot to hit forward. There's an option select that I do with Lily where I like pump uppercut and then hit both uppercut and this, and I'm a bit out of practice for it. See there, it didn't even come out. There we go. That's my option select. It beats some things that are convenient. Anyways, whatever. Next is to do Drive Rush, Pressure, Cancels, while avoiding the whatever. So put Drive Reversal on at like a delay of like about 14 frames, which is about like, you know, human looking at speed 13, 12, 14, whatever. And then you're gonna do, you're going to just have it on block, actually have it on random. No. Okay, higher than 14. Have it at like 15 or whatever. There we go. So you want to time this precisely so that your next input you do at the absolute latest time possible to still get it as a true frame trap after this. And then, and the trickiest part about this is not getting, there we go. So you want to practice this so that you just automatically block that. Because if you hit your button too early to like buffer window it, or you're not paying attention, it won't come out. So you want to hit it at the absolute latest time possible so that you don't get counter hit by the drive reversal. Etc. And then the other thing that you can do with this is the only difficult part of this that requires practice is going forward throw, but not like failing to back block the drive reversal. So I would do this by doing this and then drive rush and holding back to block, and then right when you do the forward throw, let go of block, let go of back, and just hit neutral and throw. And then that'll make it easier to OS this. So, this technique to practice, this will make it much harder for your offense to get interrupted by things that are not entirely true. Etc. And finally, the last of the main, like, sort of character-specific stuff is just, like, who is, like, an obnoxious cross-up? Whatever, let's just say... it doesn't matter. Jury. Then we have shimmy practice and corner shimmy practice. In mid-screen, it's a bit trickier, because there's two theoretical ways the opponent... So, first you record... very quick delay tech, then a very quick back walk delay tech, and then you put now unfortunately the block reversal setting in here only has 5 total entries, and you actually need more than that to cover all of the potential options that you would want to. But let's put crouch block tech, back block tech. So this time when I do it, I shimmy, and they either are holding straight back when they walk backwards, or... just like that. So either way, they're teching. Now this is important because if your character has to walk back to a range that if the opponent also walks backwards slightly before they tech, you have to walk a very, very small distance backwards to be able to still do it, but if you're too close, you get thrown like that. So that's the difficult part of it. So in mid-screen, you may have to adjust your options to not be as dependent on spacing, or you have to react to the difference in spacing. Like so. See? Not walking back far enough, but I'm worried about not being close enough for that. So, instead we can keep it simple and just punish with one button into a special or something. So we want to get the full damage if they stay sitting there. There's also backwards, so we should also input backward continuous frames, let's say 10, and then do nothing, so crouch block, put the opponent on crouching. And then react to the slight walk back into the tech with a move, with an action that will reach at that space, and then react to etc. Anyways, whatever. I've not really done a lot of practice with doing the walk back and the neutral one. So this is a bit, I've mainly done, like, reacting to whiff throw in the corner, for which this is not a thing. But, etc. Anyways, the reason why you need way more than 5 slots to be able to do this effectively is because you need all 4 of these things, plus you need neutral jump and forward jump, plus you need drive impact, plus you need drive parry, plus you need EXDP. So let's, like, remove back walk for a second, and let's also include this, and fucking, neutral jump, and in fact, let's record a neutral jump. Yeah. Jump medium punch or something, I don't know. Let's do that. And then do nothing. And then this requires a lot of practice, especially in mid-screen, where the walkback can be an issue. Nope. Reacting very slowly. Nope, didn't walk back far enough. Fuck you. That happens sometimes if you walk and then down back with Akuma and then you walk forwards, because the input system in this game is so fucking shitty that it will just take it as demon flip. I did a Tatsu there, but my controller is such a fucking piece of garbage. Oh, I am so fucking tired. I am so tired that my brain is not functioning and my patience is very thin. The thing that I need to get more used to in this scenario is that when they whiff parry, it extends their throw hurt box a lot, so you actually don't have to walk up if you do it. Yeah, if you just put yourself at the right shimmy distance, you don't even have to walk forwards. You just hit throw. And that's what I'm not used to. There we go. Ugh. Oh, fuck. This is why it makes it substantially easier to just have one button into a special that's not dependent on space for your shimmy, in mid-screen especially. Because then you don't have to react to 4 things, you just have to react to 3 things. And then if we were to add things, I would add, I don't know, DI, although that's not very common in that situation, so don't even worry about it. I would add EXDP, even though just doing the shimmy itself will automatically block it, and then you'll just default punish, so that's not a difficult thing. But you would also include forward jump in these scenarios, and especially once you go over and do the same thing in the corner. Which one was my walk back? Okay, so that one's irrelevant in the corner. But let's do forward jump as well. And I need to re-record this one because I'm not used to Juri's neutral jump thing. You don't see it very often. Anyways, let's say jumping short. What's her further, like, deepest cross-up button? I guess I'll just do that. Okay, so we're gonna have this, and then what? This one? So yeah, that's that one, and that's that one, then do nothing, then drive parry. Then we're gonna do the same thing. And this time, we have to anti-air the forward jump. And the neutral jump. And also react to the throw whiff if it ever happens. This one this scenario and this mixture of options I practiced a lot more. So that's why it looks almost like I'm a real player. Fuck me! Fucking demon flip coming out. Jesus Christ. Oh, came out as fireball instead of uppercut. That distracted me. Ah! Sometimes my fat ass thumbs hit light kick before standing light punch. Oops. Etc. And then we do that with both sides. Anyways, whatever. That's pretty much most of it. And then the rest of it is like character-specific stuff. Just running the drills, running the, you know, random on block. And then you can't make standing or crouching random. But if I could, so I would have them do, like, let's say block reversal, maybe, stand jab or maybe crouch jab, and then have those both on. And then, you know, and then I would convert into whatever the appropriate combo for that situation was. Unfortunately, this also relies on... Okay, I'd have to do crouch jab, stand jab, and then sometimes back dash. Because for Akuma especially, he needs some of the hits to not be counter hit. Because if it's counter hit, you always just go into that. Regardless of if it's standing or crouching. If it's standing, you just go into that ender instead. But yeah, as you can see, I got a standing confirm, and that's going to be... I've not practiced this at all yet because I've just been measuring, but that, in my opinion, is going to be the difficult part of Akuma to confirm because this medium punch is so short. You have so little time. You only have 11 plus the 4 active frames, so you only have like 15 frames plus the hit stop to react to the fact that it got the hit. Oh, I missed it. See, you have so little time to fucking... Even that was not close enough. I hate his standing medium punch so fucking much. You have no time to confirm it. There. See, and that was not a proper counter hit confirm. Like it should have been. Oops. Yeah, so it's very difficult to react to that hit, and then you have to react stand or crouch. First you have to react counter hit or no counter hit, and you have very little time to react to this thing. So if I were to just do block random and then counter hit random, it would be... Nope, didn't counter hit confirm it. There, you have extra time on the punish counter. But even then, it's like... Fuck me, and I didn't do it fast enough. Yeah, so I hate that fucking move for Akuma. It's one of the, like, the shortest recovering mediums in the game, and it has, like, no hit stop, and I find it very difficult to... confirm off of.